Here we are at JACC in Burbank, Los Angeles.
We just repeat each other. We should stop repeating each other.
Nah.
Yeah. Nah,
we have to make sure people understand.
Yeah.
But yeah, so we're in Burbank at the JACC 2016 Spring Conference for, is there like 500 students here? There's a lot. There's like a lot of schools here.
There's a plethora.
Yeah,
I would say.
it's all the junior colleges. It's all the junior colleges in California. But yeah, so we drove down though. We're all, we're DVC, so we're up in Walnut Creek in the Bay Area, and driving down for us.
How long of a journey is it, by the way?
It should take 5. It should take 5
okay.
hours. It should take 5 hours.
But it took us 11.
What, we left at 10? Yeah, 10, 11, 12, 1, 2. Yeah. It took us like 11 hours. So, I don't know if you guys have heard about it, but Soledad.
Also Highway 5 and Highway 101.
That's true. Yeah.
Shout out Soledad, though.
Yeah, shout out Soledad, because they got the hookup. So let's just like tell you the beginning of our journey to sort of, so you can understand why Soledad's cool, but not cool. No, it's awesome. It's a really cool.
Should we like start from my perspective? And
Yeah. Let's hear it.
So it started off at the coffee shop.
Yeah. So I picked up Marcel at the coffee shop.
A beautiful, glorious morning at the coffee shop. I'm sitting there reading my book. Maybe some like Dave Brubeck was playing in the background. I don't know. You pick it. Whatever you want.
Whatever helps the story.
Whatever helps the story. Whatever. And then all of a sudden, I get this nice tap on my back. I turn around, and Katie's like, "Marcel, it's time." It wasn't that dramatic, but like, I knew then we were going to JCC, and then I saw Jesse, and then Jesse, I don't know what happened before that. I think you got your like tires changed?
I got my tires changed. I did. I had all 4 of them changed that morning, right before I came to pick you up.
Yeah?
Yeah.
How did that go?
Okay, so like that's the thing. That was smooth, man. They're super smooth about it. They got it done in like half hour, maybe 45 minutes, and like quick got out, and I was like, all right, cool. We're gonna get on the road. We're gonna be on time. We picked you up at 10:15 or whatever. We were like good to go. So hour down the road, I drive a Subaru Impreza. An hour down the road, it starts overheating, and we start to trip out a little bit. Pull over. I don't know where we are at that point, but we're driving down 101 because we missed the turn off to 5. So we're heading kind of the long way down to Los Angeles. After stopping on some random ass spot, we buy some coolant so we can fill up the coolant in the car, and we get 20 more minutes, 30 more minutes,
God.
maybe.
No, like 10.
10,
honestly,
yeah.
like down
Just stop
road.
at the next gas station because we didn't have another option. The car overheated again. So I called my mom, figure out what the hell to do. And then that's when we figured out Soledad's like
20 minutes.
20 minutes, like 12 miles or whatever from where we are at this random ass gas station in the middle of nowhere on 101.
Yeah. Some farm town.
Yeah. Pull into Soledad. And the first thing is like we need to find a mechanic. So I pull in the first mechanic shop that's there. Dude says he can't do anything because his boss isn't there. So we can't fix the car. But he tells us...
Oh, is that what happened?
Yeah. I left them in the car. I left him and Katie, our producer / co-editor-in-chief.
So what was going on in the car then was me and Katie... by the way, Katie is the other co-editor-in-chief of The Inquirer, sitting in the background.
Yeah.
Don't worry about her. But...
Making faces.
Well, yeah, making faces. As she does. Anyways, we were just sitting in the car, and we were just, like, appreciating... like how lucky we were just to even be in this spot, Like we just thought we were gonna be like broken down on the highway, like sitting there all day for some tow truck. So I was like a little bit relieved when we got to some sort of mechanic.
Soledad, the first mechanic.
Yeah.
So he couldn't do anything because his boss. He said boss man wasn't there, so he couldn't do anything. Oh, so the first thing too is that we get into Soledad, and everyone speaks Spanish, like. First language there is Spanish. Yeah. Everyone speaks Spanish there. And I'm struggling in Spanish too. Marcel's pulling stuff out of like high school Spanish. Katie's, pulling stuff out of wherever she learned her Spanish from. And it's I'm not saying it's bad, but it's definitely, if you're trying to learn Spanish, that's the place to go. Immersive.
Saw that.
You're gonna learn a lot.
They don't even question it. They just like immediately
throw
Spanish at you.
Yeah, first thing. So I talked to the first mechanic. He tells us he can't help us. We go to the, AutoZone or
No.
It was the O'Reilly's.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Shout out O'Reilly's.
Yeah, shout out O'Reilly's in Soledad. So they hooked it up with giving me a couple other locations to go to. The second guy can't do it because he said it'll be too busy. He wouldn't have us in Burbank that evening. Our third guy I go to, what is it called? Reyes, R-E-Y-E-S, right? Reyes, something like that. Reyes, something like that. Either way, the man right there. I walk in there, dude starts speaking Spanish to me. I'm like, crap. So, and I'm on the chapter where we're supposed to be learning stuff about our cars. I didn't study enough. But we get in, I'm talking to the guy there. He finally gets me on the phone with the guy that speaks English. We get the radiator fixed. Or he tells us he's going to fix it. But we get to spend 4 hours in Soledad before it's going to get fixed. So, first thing we do is we go to a restaurant. And lady is asking for our food in Spanish, asking for one for here to go in Spanish, It was nice. It was kind of interesting.
Yeah. We did really well also.
For being some people who either haven't taken it or I'm struggling through it. But we did pretty well.
Yeah.
And we end up chilling at a park. And by a park, I mean a grass field.
By a railroad station. Wait, not even station, excuse me. Track.
Yeah.
Track. Yeah.
Cesar Chavez Park.
Those people deserve a better park.
They do.
I want to go back there and just make a park for them.
Yeah.
Yeah. They deserve something. Those are good people.
They're really good people. It's a really cool town. If you've never been there, I don't think there were any stoplights, but it was literally one strip that we just went through. It's super old school, super I don't want to say 1950s, but maybe 60s kind of thing. It's
it's a blast from the past.
It's totally a little time capsule town.
Yeah.
But really cool. And
the whole corridor is though.
Yeah, that's true. That is true. The whole spot on 101 is all kind of a time capsule.
Highway 5 also. Yeah.
So we end up getting the car fixed by 4:30. And Mary, our advisor, and Sean Ross, our news editor, are already in Burbank because they took a flight because they were probably smarter than us.
Much smarter.
But we had things to do. So they'd been here and they were working as a crack team to get us to Burbank if hypothetically the car didn't work. And that almost happened.
Crack team? Sorry, what?
Yeah, they were a crack team,
Oh, like a split team.
Yeah. I guess?
Okay. I was thinking something completely different.
Oh, no.
It's fine.
Not that.
Okay.
So the car gets fixed. It's 4:30 at this point, and the guy's asking me what time we need to be in Burbank. I'm telling him 5. Whatever. It's a big joke at this point because we all know we're not going to be there till midnight. And we leave the auto shop in Soledad after thanking the guy for getting all his work done. He's awesome. And we get 15 minutes down the road again, and the car overheats. And then we're like, I don't know what to do. This is a fucking joke. I don't know what to fucking do. So we pull off. I'm thinking it's a head gasket. I'm thinking we're screwed.
Well, no, you didn't think it was a head gasket.
That's true. I mean, I was worried it was a head gasket.
Yeah.
But I didn't think it was one at that point, only because I didn't see the white smoke.
Yeah, the car. Yeah, exactly.
We go back to Soledad after I call the guys, and we bring the car back in there. Car's fine. I guess it didn't receive the new radiator yet as a piece of the car, so it was still kind of I'm still broken. I don't know how to work. And then on our drive back to Soledad, it put itself back together and was good to go.
Yeah.
Leave Soledad. Get to the Grapevine now. We drove down 198. Beautiful. To cross from 101.
Was that country road that we took?
So we crossed from 101 over to Highway 5 and taking 198. If you get a chance to ever drive that road, it's awesome. Gorgeous. Yeah. There's some cool mountains out there, some cool sand dunes out there. It was it was just so cool. So
strange
cool.
environment.
Yeah. So worth the extra hour we had to spend driving it.
Yeah.
So worth it. So then we what was the Grapevine where we stopped at that weird gas station?
Oh my god.
Yeah. So we have to stop. The car starts getting a little hot again because we're going up the Grapevine, and it's something with I'm thinking it's the fuel pump now. Whatever. I'm not gonna get it fixed till after you guys all see this. But we pull in this truck stop, and we all got to use the restroom, got to get gas. And so I go in the bathroom.
I went in the car, by the way, because we do not trust the area.
Yeah, we do not trust the area, and we have way too much gear on us to just leave the car empty. So I go in the bathroom. No one's in there, it seems like. And I start to use the bathroom, and I hear some guy from a stall go, "Yo!" I'm like, what is that? And it freaked me out, but I was like, whatever, I'm just not going to say anything. I left the bathroom, walked back out to the car. I'm like, Marcel, just be careful. There's some guy in the bathroom, and he's going to try and talk to you. So, what was your experience in that bathroom?
So I go in, and, like, images of what might happen are flashing through my mind. And just like, I'm going to the bathroom, still haven't heard anything. And all of a sudden, this guy does exactly the same thing. He just yells at, yo! And I'm just like, oh my God, what do I do? I'm there defenseless. I'm there just peeing. I'm just standing. I wouldn't be sitting. Sometimes.
It depends.
Depends.
At this particular instance, standing.
Yes. Okay. Anyways, I guess he thinks I leave or something like that. And all of a sudden, I just hear like him chopping up something off of what I don't know what surface. He was in a stall. So yeah, I hear some chopping, and then some snorting after that, and then I'm still peeing, still very scared. Finish up, longest pee of my life, I would have to say, and leave. Don't wash my hands.
Out.
Yeah, it's
Gone.
okay. Bought some great pretzels though from that gas station. Really enjoyed them.
Yeah, they had cereal. That's what I was rocking on that cereal.
You know what? The food we got from that gas station was the best.
Way better than anything else that was in that area.
Yes.
It was like Carl's Jr., Wendy's, Taco Bell.
Yeah.
A Quiznos that was closed.
Actually, we stopped
Arby's,
at that place,
right?
first of all, because the Quiznos was closed.
We did, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, no, we stopped there because we thought the Quiznos was open.
Excuse me.
Found it's closed.
Yeah.
Best choice. Either way, make it to Burbank finally by what, like 11:30 at night. Mary, our advisor, just tells us, just text me when you get here.
Yeah.
I'm going to bed. Call Sean Ross, our news editor, come down, gave us all the card keys.
Sean Ross.
What a boss, But that was a trip that should not have taken 11 hours. Totally took 11 hours.
It did.
Yeah. That was our adventure down to Burbank. So if you're going down to Burbank, my suggestion, check your radiator.
Just take your car for service. Before.
Yes.
Yeah.
And if you need somewhere to stop and you're on 101, go to Soledad because it's a cool ass town.
Yeah.
And I will be visiting there at some point again. Just because it was like, huh.
I think we owe them some community service to make that park a little bit better.
Yeah, I think so. That was a nice. Not a nice park.
Not a nice
it should
park.
be a nice park.
Should be a nice park. They deserve a nice park.
Welcome back to the video podcast this week, because normally we don't do that. And I'm here with Alex Ramos,
What's up?
my previous editor-in-chief.
Previously.
Yeah, before he's going to Long Beach. So Alex, tell us about the journey, of transferring from a junior college. Well, because first you were at Long Beach before coming back to DVC.
I had already transferred.
Right. So tell me about that experience transferring. Difficult, easy,
I was way in over my head that first time.
Mm-hmm.
For sure. I went in thinking it was just going to be a blast. I was going to have fun. I was going to party. I was going to have the quote unquote real college experience. But I don't come from a background where I can afford to do that. If you're going to have the real college experience, you got to have parents that are going to pay for everything.
Yeah.
You got to have the luxury of time to do all this kind of partying, which I didn't have. I had to work. I had to go to school. I had to balance professional relationships with news organizations on campus because I was trying to break into the newspaper. I was trying to break into the magazine. I was just trying to expand my horizons.
So they do it separately, a newspaper and a magazine separately, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. They're completely different staffs because they're completely different styles of journalism.
Wow.
But yeah, that first time when I transferred, it was rough. I was not prepared, and I ended up flunking out, which is when I came back to DVC, met you guys, met you, Marcel over there in the back, Sean Ross, Katie, and we had a good semester. We had a good run. That one semester that we had, it was a huge turnaround because before it was who was editor-in-chief before me? It was
before you. It was Shane.
Shane by himself.
Shane Lewis was. It was him as editor-in-chief by himself. And we had Tyler and Taylor that were both just under him as other editors.
Uh-huh.
And if there was another editor, I'm so sorry that I didn't say your name. Because those are the three that I talked to.
Uh-huh.
But yeah, no, those are our editor in chief before you came in, and you jumped in. What we were already already done our first publication.
No,
we were like a week in.
I came in. Yeah, you guys were a weekend. I came in. You guys were trying this weird experiment.
Yeah, anarchy.
That didn't work. Anarchy doesn't work.
Anarchy.
You need a big hermano.
Yeah,
big hermano. Which is me. No, but I thought it was a good experiment. That's why I didn't step up in the first place. Because it was good to see if it would work to just have everybody on that equal playing field. Everybody has an equal vote, and it didn't work. Especially just because you guys had never been in a leadership position like that, from what I understand.
Yeah, no, none of us.
None of you guys had been an editor, so nobody knows how to be an editor, and you're all trying to have an equal vote. It didn't work for a while. So halfway, that's when I came to you guys and I said, "Look, I was co-editor in chief before with another person. Let me be editor in chief for the last bit, and we'll just make it work
play it out from there.
Yeah.
And you bumped up Katie, who had come in as just 126 a student, or no, she was just a 120 student.
Yeah.
And came in, and you bumped her up to social media. Yeah, because she was the one person that stayed behind for our first publication date. That was a struggle.
Well, eventually her social media position turned into, I believe it was online managing editor.
Mm-hmm.
And she was my managing editor. I didn't know.
Yeah, she managed.
Big hermano. We're straying off though. So you became, you worked just as a regular staff member, right?
I started as a staff member. I walked in, and like I said, I have to work so I can at least bring in a little money so I can cover my own bills.
Right.
Just a little bit. My parents are really helping me a lot with just the rent. I'm doing basically everything else on my own. So I didn't have a job at the time, but I had at the back of my mind, okay, I'm going to have a job, so I probably won't be able to do an editor position here. I'll probably just start as a staffer. So I walked in, I showed them my application, my resume, gave them a couple samples of my work. They looked them over, turned to me and said, "You don't want to be an editor?" They were completely dumbfounded. They were, and I mean, I understand, because how do you have someone coming in from another school where they were an editor-in-chief, not wanting to be an editor? And I told them, I don't know what my situation is right now. I'm just moving back from the Bay Area. I got to figure things out first. They were like, cool. And it actually worked for me, because when I was editor-in-chief the first time and the second time that I was at DVC, I strayed away from my foundation as a writer. Because that's what I always wanted to be. I just always wanted to be a writer.
Right.
And
took more of that managing position.
I took more of the managing position, so I didn't really have time to focus on writing as much as I wanted to. So the first, since we're a weekly, 5-6 issues, strictly writing. I was pumping out like 3-4 stories a week.
Wow.
And
like average length, like 300 to 500 or longer than that?
Not even 300 to 500. This was, they were pushing us to do 5 to 7.
Wow, 5 to 7.
5 to 700 words, 3 to 4 stories a week.
So think about transferring to Long Beach. This is what you're going to have to be writing.
Oh, you're going to be writing this for me, because right now, I shouldn't even say that. That sounds a little conceited, but they approached me because they want me to assume the position as editor-in-chief for the next year. Assume
the position. So what gave you the confidence to come back and get onto the paper this time and sort of I know you didn't want to take on the editor position, but like when they presented it to you, what sort of gave you that confidence to be like, I will take this on this time?
Just the fact that I'd flunked out. I worked my way all the way back up through DVC, which kind of going back to DVC was really what helped me get that confidence back. But also coming back, and I couldn't lose anything. I was coming back. And there was no way I could get any lower than getting kicked out that first time. Right. So I just decided, you know what, I'm going to go all out. I'm not going to hold back. If they say I suck, then I suck. But at least, I gave myself the chance to do it while I'm still there, while I'm still a student at this school.
Mhm.
And right now, I'm still kind of struggling, kind of for the same reason, because I'm trying to balance the newspaper, which the newspaper is an academic endeavor. It's basically
Right.
extracurricular. And I'm balancing that with all my classes. And right now, I had to drop one of my classes, but, you know, baby steps.
Right,
I'm going
right.
I'm going through this in baby steps, and I really don't care if I have to take my time to get through college, because I know in the real world they're not going to hand me the editor position.
Mhm.
They're not going to give me the opportunity to learn these skills through practice. I'm going to have to go in and say, I'll be your mail boy and I'll bring you coffee every day
Right.
until
yeah,
you let
yeah.
me write a story. And I would rather just learn and do it through practice at a college paper than have to struggle and work my way
Mhm.
up.
Be
I don't-
someone's bitch boy, basically.
basically.
Yeah, the coffee guy for a couple of years.
Yeah, I don't want to do that.
Yeah.
I want to practice it, even if it's at a college level.
So is there anything that you could tell someone who's maybe thinking about either breaking into like the newspaper at a UC or a state school
Mhm.
that's just now transferring? I mean, this I guess this would go for a lot of the people that are at JACC right now who are either going to be transferring this semester or within the next couple of years. But what advice could you give to those people that are about to take on that endeavor?
Okay, so if you're transferring, most likely you were doing newspaper at your community college.
Mhm.
That's easy enough to break into because at community college your staff is probably not as big, and so then you're gonna be given free reign
Mhm.
to just kind of mess around and learn through trial and error. Once you get to a 4-year school, UC, CSU, out of state, wherever you go, it's going to be a little bit harder, especially if you're trying to go through the journalism department's officially sponsored newspaper. I know I had trouble with the magazine. I had trouble with the newspaper. And the reason for that is because for them, they're trying to get all these students through.
Mhm.
And for them, it's kind of like with the real newspaper where you type it up and you send it in and you hope they pick it.
Right.
But you're competing with all these other people writing the same story. For me, as a student, that doesn't work. I don't think that works with any student. You should be trying to let all these students have their spot in the
Right.
limelight. You should let these students have one-on-one communication so that they can develop those skills, sit down with them, edit their pieces right there with them. And like I said, if you're competing with everyone, you're not going to get that.
Mhm.
So here's the thing. If your school has a student newspaper that's run solely by students, which is what my newspaper right now, the Union Weekly, does,
Right. Right.
go to them. Go to them and tell them, hey, I'm a journalism student. I don't know how serious you guys are about journalism, because sometimes they are, sometimes they aren't. But, you know, I just want to get my writing out there. Can I write for you guys? And they probably won't let you, because for them it's just for fun.
Right.
They're not as serious. And when you do it for fun, you're probably going to learn more, and you're probably going to be more invested in it than if you're doing something for a grade.
Right. Yeah. Well, I also want to thank you for coming on today.
Thank you.
Always a pleasure to see you.
Thank you.
And
I love seeing you guys
yeah.
again.
and
Everybody behind camera.
good luck with everything in Long
Thank
Beach,
you, man. Thank you, man.
Of course. So welcome back. That was just a great interview we had with Alex Ramos, who was the previous editor-in-chief at DVC. And this week, if you didn't notice, I mean, other than the fact that we're in a video, but Cooper's not here.
Yeah.
So he can't care about something this week, but he does care. I promise you that.
He does. I mean, he's in Istanbul right now.
Yeah, he is in Turkey.
Yeah.
And if you didn't know, today there was actually, a bombing in Istanbul. And today is, the 19th? Well, I guess it's the 20th now. It's like midnight.
It is the
But-
19th/20th. I think we started on the 19th, now into the 20th.
Yeah, but there was actually
Of
a
March.
bombing in Istanbul. And so Cooper's there. Hopefully he's safe. I'm sure he'll come back next week to give you guys a great account of just the whole thing that happened in Turkey and his whole trip. I'm sure he'll give you a good Cooper Cares section about that.
Yeah. He's definitely safe.
Yeah, as far as we
we're-
know, he's safe. Yeah.
Yeah. We're hoping he didn't see.
Anything too messed up.
Yeah.
Yeah. But he'll be back next week. He definitely cares about stuff. I would phone him, but I can't call Istanbul. So,
Can we cut all that
yeah.
out? Because I was gonna say something really traumatic, but then I like thought about that. I'm like, no, that's up. I don't want to say that.
Hello, my name's Sean Ross. Cooper, as you may have noticed, is not here right now. So instead of him caring, I am here to share with you. Now, I'm going to share with you today something that you may not be fully aware of, but should really outrage you if you are any fan of the Fourth Amendment. So, 2 years ago, in the case Hayne versus North Carolina, Officer Matt DeReese pulled over Nicholas Hayne on suspicion after seeing a broken brake light. During the course of the stop, Officer DeReese obtained consent to search the vehicle, whereupon he found cocaine. Hayne was charged with attempted trafficking and arrested. Seems perfectly above board, right? Except North Carolina traffic law requires both brake lights to be out. Hayne's car only had one light out. Therefore, according to Hayne's attorneys, his Fourth Amendment rights were violated due to the fact that there was no legal reason to pull him over. This case went all the way to the Supreme Court, where the Roberts Court ruled 8-1 against Hayne and in favor of North Carolina, holding that Officer DeReese's reasonable mistake of law was in fact reasonable, and any evidence obtained from that mistake of law was permissible in court. Now, what does this mean for you, the everyday citizen? Well, that means when an officer does not know the law, that is a perfectly acceptable excuse. When you, the citizen, do not know the law, well, you're SOL. So what can we do about this? I don't know. It blows my mind just how with each passing day, we the people are seeing our rights eroded before our very eyes, and yet it keeps happening. In conclusion, I'm going to be writing further in depth about this in a future opinion piece, which I highly recommend you read. And in short, I believe that this is I completely agree with Sonia Sotomayor's dissenting opinion that this is a completely egregious overstepping of every American's Fourth Amendment rights, and this is another step on the road to a police state. Thank you, and have a good night.